Did we deserve to win that game? Not really. Were we bailed out by the refs? Absolutely not. From puck drop through the very end, that game was one of the worst officiated games I have ever had to watch. Just a blatant disregard for one of the teams on the ice. We'll get to the Hague thing later, but starting off, 1-0 because Pavel Dorofeev with just amazing stuff. And this dude scores back-to-back and then back-to-back. So money down on him scoring on Saturday against the Wild. Little more than 4 minutes left to go, and Pavel Dorofeev makes sure that this puck, which was about to be cleared by the Jets, stays in the offensive zone because he disrupts the Jet that's trying to get it out of the zone. And that's reinforced by William Karlsson immediately jumping onto this puck, which is just fantastic work from both of these players. Keep them on a line together, please. Dorofeev's initial shot was saved or post or something, and then Karlsson rushes for this puck, grabs it, gets it back to Dorofeev, fires it on past Hellebuck, 1-0 Vegas. Really, really solid play from those two alone. Overall, not a great first. Like, nothing really happened despite the fact that the shots were really high on both sides. It was like 14-10. Things went downhill from there because the Winnipeg Jets outshot Vegas 10-1 over the next 12 minutes. We had possession of the puck. We just couldn't keep it and get shots on goal, and just Winnipeg suffocated us all second period. And the only reason that we stayed in this game was because Logan Thompson stood on his head for us. He absolutely stole this game for us. I love this dude. New addition. He's really the only person that showed up wearing this jersey, so had to be him. And the Winnipeg Jets, despite the fact that Logan Thompson was standing on his head, stole a goal because this one absolutely should not have happened. Sorry, okay, the Vegas Golden Knights win against the Winnipeg Jets, not the Atlanta Thrashers, 4-1. Oh, which is a little misleading. It's very misleading. We had 2 empty net goals, but in this economy, right? I know, it's crazy. Winnipeg's one goal happened in the second period, and it should absolutely not have happened because Keegan Kolesar was tripped really badly by Josh Morrissey, which is one thing if they weren't calling it at all, but they called Vegas on a lot lighter penalties than that. Oh, like 4 times in a row. Vegas absolutely should have been more disciplined. Very, very one-sided. Immediately after this no-call trip, Nikolai Ehlers on the point, sends it on, and Sean Monahan scores. And it's a deflection, and there's nothing Thompson could have really done on that one, but it was absolutely just egregious that that wasn't called, and it directly led to a change of possession, and that change of possession immediately was a goal for Winnipeg. Tie game 1-1. And Vegas forgot how to play hockey, which, you know, the second period, usually it's the third period when we have our total collapse. It was the second period today, and so, you know, good first period-ish, bad second period. It's either gonna be worse or the best one that we've had in 10 games. It's gonna be the latter, barely. The controversy happens because Hague is going after the puck, and he races Nemestikov. Hague is 6'6", and then add an inch or so for skates. Nemestikov might be 5'11" with skates. And so the clear height difference does not excuse Nick Hague from jutting out his elbow into Nemestikov's head in the ensuing puck battle. He's tall, and he has that height difference. He's gotta be in control of his elbow there. They're gonna call that 10 out of 10 times. It was called a major originally, and it is not a major. The push-off was after the contact. He didn't push into the contact, and Hague didn't have intent in it. And intent, when it comes to majors, does seem to matter quite a bit. Should it? That's a different story. Nemestikov, after taking a couple of seconds down on the ice, popped back up. He seemed, hopefully he's fine. I hope that he's healthy and that we can destroy them in the playoffs. But Scheifele stood up for him immediately and got a game misconduct, which I thought was a little harsh, but at the same time, I'm a Vegas fan, so I appreciate it. Thanks, Scheifele. Especially because it was extremely quick fight. In the second of the game, Keegan Kolazar and Logan Stanley had a bout in the first because Logan Stanley laid a pretty big hit on a Matteo in the corner, and they did that. And so I don't really know what the difference, like, they were both willing combatants, and then in the second one, the Scheifele and Haig, very subjective in my opinion, but I'm a Vegas fan, what do I know? Quick recap on my thoughts on this, which don't really matter, I'm just a fan. Haig should have been called for a penalty there because it was an illegal check to the head. He's got to keep that elbow tucked in. I know it's a natural reaction to want to push off on any contact going towards him, and it's not his fault that he's almost a foot taller than Nemestikov. But that being said, he shouldn't just get the benefit of the doubt for being tall. He needs to be in control of his elbow. Just plain and simple. Yes, penalty, no major, not a major again. And then Winnipeg had the audacity to be chanting, "Refs, you suck," when they lead the power play numbers 5-1. Are you joking me? That is that is comedy. Are you that? The one goal that you guys have to this point and the game came because the refs literally didn't call something that they should have called, that they called wider against Vegas earlier in the game. They shouldn't have been looking for a penalty, Tim Peel, but they should have called Morrissey. That wouldn't have been a goal. It would have been a 1-0 game. And Vegas's penalty kill was phenomenal tonight. A major is a completely different story, but it wasn't a major. I don't know what to tell you. Remember when you chanted, "You're a backup" to your now backup goalie that beat you in 5 games in the playoffs last year? Yeah. Up to this point, Vegas has had a hard time setting up and having the pressure sustained to be able to lead to these goals. The William Karlsson and Dorofeev was really one of the only other opportunities. Dorofeev had a couple of other times where he displayed his offensive prowess, and he deserves a roster spot in the lineup the rest of time until we don't have him anymore, which could be soon. Who knows? He's an RFA. We'll see what that happens. In transition, on the rush, Vegas makes it 2-1. Anthony Mantha with a backhanded pass over to Barbashev, streaking towards the net, and Barbashev with absolute beautiful backhand, perfectly up into the top of the goal. It was art. That goal was beautiful. That was just perfect. Picture perfect, and it is the game winner. Barbashev gets another one on an empty netter after Thompson made a huge save, and with Winnipeg pulled their goalie, and Barbashev did the smart thing in getting into the neutral zone and offensive zone by pulling up and waiting to go around the Jet defender, and it was just a really smart play from Barbashev to get his 18th of the year, his second of the game, and then for good measure, Jack Eichel also gets an empty netter for his 25th of the year. Winnipeg outshot us 40-27. Logan Thompson, dude stood on his head and just has been really, really good for us of late, like he was 2 years ago, trying to will us into a playoff spot, except this time we have enough to hopefully get us there, and really he deserves an opportunity to show what he's got in the playoffs, because he didn't play for us last year, and so this would be his first time in the playoffs with us, and he's just played extremely well, and it's his net right now. I alluded to this earlier, but this is the first game in the last 10 that we didn't allow a third period goal. 3 weeks ago against the Vancouver Canucks, when we lost 3-1, we didn't allow a goal in the third period, but like Vancouver wasn't really trying. Before that, it was the San Jose game where we shut them out 4-0 on February 19th. That was the last time, other than the Vancouver game 3 weeks ago in which we were trailing, that we were ahead in the third period and did not allow a goal in the third. Hopefully, this is a step in the right direction, and we're going to continue down this tread, and our third periods are just going to get better, and we're not going to blow a 4-1 lead. We're not going to allow 3 goals in the third period, or just, let the team score another one in the third to give them an already bigger lead. But hey, enough of that, because that's the stuff of the past, right? Vegas is on an upward trajectory. We are now third in the Pacific, even though the Kings have 2 games in hand, including one tonight that they're playing against Edmonton, so that's really conflicting there. Edmonton won 4-1, so Kings have 1 game in hand and are 1 point behind us. And the Golden Knights recently have been really, really good, in large part due to Logan Thompson's fantastic play, Dorofeev's fantastic play as well as of late. Just really solid stuff from the Vegas Golden Knights, and hopefully this is us getting onto the right foot just in time to be a dangerous team in the playoffs. Our next game Saturday, a little bit earlier, against the Minnesota Wild, the last of this road trip, and then we go home for one game and then we're back on the road. But that's gonna be it for game 73s. We have 9 games left in the season. Wow. Final stretch here, eh? That's going to be it for Game 73's Nightly Review. Thank you so much for watching and have a good night.